Hello all you beauty people, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Obviously you can tell by the title down below, we are doing an old school palette tag. I am so excited to do this video because one of you lovely subscribers or viewers out there recommended for me to dig back into my archives and go back to some old school YouTube. I appreciate you guys suggesting videos and ideas for me to do. This was one from my 400 subscriber video. Right now we actually just hit 500 subscribers. You guys are already so close to hitting me towards 600. My mind is blown. It is ridiculously blown right now. When I looked at my subscriber count, I think I'm at 541, which is like so ridiculous to say. Like, I can't even believe it. And why am I saying the word like so many times? Because I'm not thinking as I'm talking right now. I just keep going and rambling on. Anyways, so I appreciate one of you guys suggesting this old school palette tag. If you are one of my friends here on YouTube and you want to join along with me in this palette tag, I tag you to go ahead and do it too as well, so you know who you are. If you have a channel, you know you want to do this palette tag. Anyways, I will link all of the questions down below that go into this old school palette tag. Also, this was actually one of like my first videos I did 7 years ago when I started my YouTube channel, which is extremely nuts to say. So I'll link that video down below if you guys want to see, you know, little old Sandra Dee from a few years ago or 7 years ago. Wow, I can't believe how my makeup game has changed, my bedroom has changed, my setup has changed, all the shenanigans, and it's just ridiculous because obviously it comes with growth and hard work, and also you guys that keep me going and keep me doing this. So again, I appreciate you guys so much. So don't forget to go ahead and check out that my old school palette tag video. Don't forget to check out that 500 subscriber video down below. I always link any of my giveaways going on down below anyways, so you guys know what's going on my channel. So without further ado, before we keep rambling on, if this is your first time to my YouTube channel, welcome. I do videos 2-3 times a week. I also do monthly giveaways, open to international and also to US. So don't forget to go ahead, like I said, check those out down below. And if you are a return subscriber, welcome back. I appreciate you guys being here. And you know what time it is, so you know the gist. If you like videos like this, don't forget this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell down below so you never miss a video with me, your girl Sandra Dee, and let's just go ahead and get into this. Alright, so I'm excited. I have all the questions down below which go into all these categories. I've got all the palettes over here. If you guys didn't actually see, I have a declutter series going on right now at the moment where I'm kind of decluttering everything in my makeup collection behind my Alex drawers. I need to do my bathroom still, which that one's going to be a little bit of a mess to do, but I'm eager to kind of get it done because I just love decluttering. I hate hoarding things when things just need to go and it's just that time. So I'm like going through clothes, all that kind of stuff. There's other stuff that I've decluttered, like shoes and things like that recently. I just built a new shelf for my shoe collection, decluttered a bunch of shoes. Anyways, if you guys want to check out my declutter series, I'll link that down below for you. There's a playlist for you, but more or less, I actually decluttered my palettes. I had so many palettes. It was ridiculous. I didn't even count how many palettes I had and how many I decluttered. But it's just kind of nuts to say that I had them in 3 drawers and now they're only in 2 drawers. So yeah, that video is actually done the best out of my declutter series, which is my palette declutter, which has like 1.8K views. So 1,800, something like that. So anyways, check out those videos. If you guys feel free to, go right ahead. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into this palette tag. And starting off with the first question. So what is the palette in your collection that has the best packaging? So when you think of packaging, you know, the outside, the way that it looks, the hardware to it, whatever it could be. I have 2 palettes that I have deemed for myself that I think have the best packaging for me. So the first one, because they kind of tie and they're both purple, the first one is the new Michaela X Glam Light palette. This, just how she just did this, is just so cool, so fun. I haven't seen any palette like this in a while, and just even when you open it up, it's just really aesthetically pleasing when it just comes to the color profile and the big mirror that's in it. It's also my first thing I've ever owned from Glamlight, and that PR package looked amazing. I did do a full review over the Michaela palette and the Michaela X Glamlight PR packaging. That's somewhere on my channel somewhere. If you want to check that out, go for it. The other one, you guys got to give it up for Jeffree. Jeffree Star just knocks it out of the park. Every single time he releases something, the packaging on these is just so aesthetically pleasing. So this is the one I chose. I have a huge Jeffree Star collection. I love the makeup products. This is from the Bloodlust collection, and this like velvety type like feeling is just so beautiful. I don't know what shape this is. I kind of forget. Is this an octagon? Is this an octagon? 1, 2, 3, or is it something else that's before that? Or a hexagon or something like that, because it's 6 sides. Anyways, the way that you open it up is just by pulling the latch, and then this is what it looks like. I'm gonna be honest, I bought this palette because of the packaging, also because it's purple, but I'm gonna be really honest, I haven't even used this palette yet, and it's just been sitting in there since this collection got released. I think I swatched one color in here and that's it. So I really need to like dive into some of these palettes I've spent money on, because these palettes aren't cheap. They're like 60 something bucks, I think, something like that, which is really ridiculous and so nuts. So that is the palettes. Those are the 2 palettes I would say have the best packaging. Technically you're supposed to only choose 1 in each category, but your girl, you know, has a lot of palettes, so it's really hard to choose. So the next category for this is the palette that has the best color payoff. So to me, when I think of color payoff, my mind instantly just went to this palette, which is the Tati Beauty Volume 1 palette. I was super excited to get this when she first launched it. I think actually, you know what? I don't think I got it right away when she launched it. I think I got it sometime afterwards, maybe during her restock. I don't remember. But this palette is just so beautiful. I mean, obviously it's very neutral, very versatile, but you do have these great glitters that are up here. And when I say color payoff, like these are just so creamy. It's ridiculous. And let me go ahead and just swatch those on my hand just so you guys can kind of see the color payoff. Like, it is just so good, so amazing. These glitters, I'm scared to put my finger into one of these glitters because glitter just goes everywhere, especially if you don't have a glitter glue. But I kid you not, these glitters are amazing. I don't know, I just can't tell you enough of how good they are. I'm gonna get a makeup wipe just so I don't get this all over me. Oops, and I don't want to dig myself into that palette either while it's on my lap. But yes, so far as color payoff, I think this one is just so amazing. If you haven't been able to try this out, definitely get your hands on it. Again, very neutral palette, but if you ever wanted to play with glitters and you kind of want a best combination of all of the above, this would definitely be a great palette. I'm trying to make sure I get room on this countertop and not squishing my glasses at the same time. It is what it is. Also, I forgot to address the elephant in the room when I started off this video, because I bet some of you will probably ask. So as you can see, I do have some scarring or pigmentation on my face. I actually got, I don't know if you want to call first or second degree burns at work with hot food that just exploded in my face. And so that's why, luckily, this actually happened about a week ago. It was really hard to deal with when it first happened. It blistered, it scabbed, it's peeling, it's trying to do its thing. I've been trying to keep medication, antibiotic ointment on it consistently, which is also why I only have makeup from this far up, but also because at my work we are wearing masks again, so I really don't need to wear makeup down here, which is really great. So I'm able to keep this part of my face like medicated when it comes to the healing process of this. Again, it's only been a week. It was really hard for me to deal with. Like I said, I cried my eyes out. It blistered, it boiled, it looked disgusting and gross. Hopefully it heals well, because I haven't been able to put makeup on it, and you know I love my makeup. Also, I can even put like good skincare on top of it yet either, because they don't want you to do that as well. I've slowly started putting serums on my face just to kind of keep the hydration there, but in the beginning it kind of stung, so I kind of stopped doing that. Yeah. Anyways, so I thought I'd address that. I forgot to address that earlier. Okay, so the next palette is the most versatile palette. Okay, I've got all these palettes kind of stacked up here, so pardon me. Ugh. Okay, most versatile palette. You guys know I had to just go ahead and grab this one. It is the James Charles palette for most versatile. You guys know this is an artiste palette, which is the way he created it with all these different colors and combinations. Obviously the blush, bronzer, contour kind of stuff in the center to kind of help with all different kinds of skin tones. So I really, really love this palette, especially when it just comes to the Color Payoff. The highlighter in here is so stunning. I've used it a few times. I don't gravitate towards it all the time, but like for a palette that's very versatile where you can get a lot of payoff. This is another gold shade which is in here. Obviously it's a little bit different. And then let's go ahead and swatch. Ooh, this purple shade. Beautiful. Okay, and then this purple shade on my finger. I think I've got some stuff still left on my finger from the other one. But then this is what the purple looks like. And so this palette is very versatile. You've got neutrals, you've got colors. There's just a lot to pick from. Oh God, I just dug my finger into that, Sandra. But yeah, just a lot to choose from. Reds, orange, pinks, purples, blues, greens, yellows, browns, blacks. Every single color is in that palette. So realistically, James Charles did a really great job of putting together that palette with Morphe. So that is the most versatile palette, at least in my collection, I think so. All right, so best for travel. So obviously when you're traveling, you want to travel with a palette that kind of pretty much has everything in it, but obviously isn't too big, isn't too bulky, and has really good packaging so you know it won't get damaged. So the palette that I could choose for best travel, and more or less it kind of is in the packaging and of the name. It is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. So this is kind of like a all-in-one kind of travel palette. You can see that there is like a lot of pictures from all over the world, whether you're in Rome, Italy, Greece, looks like California. But this is just a very versatile palette you can take with you, and I've actually traveled with this palette when I first got it years ago. But obviously if you open up the palette, you can see you've got mattes, you've got shimmers, some satin shades that are in there as well, but you also have your neutrals, you've got some colors to choose from. And I just think that this is just a great palette to travel with, because again, you've got a neutral brown in there, neutral like crease colors, you've got a great inner corner shade, you've got some great coppers and magentas and greens and a little bit of blues in there, like I said. So I just think this is just a really great versatile palette. We can go anywhere from like day to night and just kind of switching it up. But again, it has really great packaging. It's not too big, it's not too bulky. It has a magnetic closure, so it'll obviously stay closed. But yes, this is just an amazing palette. And let me go ahead and swatch two of these colors. So Big Sky was this bottom like turquoise shade. And then let's go ahead and choose Wild Heart, which is like a magenta purple shade really quickly. So again, a lot of these palettes have really great payoff, and obviously you know Urban Decay always comes to play. So this is kind of like a satin shade, but obviously has a little bit of shimmer into it, and then the green has more of just like a metallic shift. So those are super duper stunning and really, really pretty. Again, great palette to choose from when it comes to traveling. Then moving on to biggest regret palette. Oh, I remember which one I chose. So the biggest regret palette, I remember when there was so much controversy going on when this palette first came out. Some people had good batches, some people had bad batches. So I waited to buy this palette when I saw it in TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. So I have rarely used this palette whatsoever. I've used my ABH palettes actually for a while. When I get one, I like really dive into it. This one I barely touched, but obviously I'm not really that wowed by it either. I bought it just to have it in my collection, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 matte shades, 2 shimmer shades, and 3 shimmer shades. I've never swatched Cube, but like I'm just not a big matte fan. Like I'm great with mattes when it comes to like transition shades, but when it comes to like having a full matte look, your girl just can't do it. And I will tell you, like I said, I think I got like an okay one when it comes to like batching. For some reason those colors did not come off of my fingers. But let me swatch the yellow in this, which is Edge. And you'll see what I mean. It's not great. It's not perfect. So that's what it looks like on my finger. And when I go ahead and swatch it, it actually looks pretty okay. But when you go ahead and put it onto your eye, it's a different story. It becomes a little bit more patchy. Obviously, I'm putting more pressure because I'm using my finger. But if I was to use a brush, it does not have the same color payoff. And that's my only thing that's a regret. Now, as for the shimmer shades are great. Some of these are awesome. Some of these are good. Some of these are not. Electric. If Electric was in a different palette, I would probably use this palette way more. Just because I love the duochrome shift that's in this. That's what it looks like. So, I mean, obviously using my fingers, I think my palette is okay, but like the color scheme just doesn't excite me. And there's too many mattes in this. But I'm at least happy that I bought it on a bargain at TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and I paid like half the cost. I think I paid maybe like $18 or $20 compared to like the original price, which I believe is like $42 or like $50, somewhere in that range. So that is where I'm at with my biggest regret palette. Now, when it comes to the next question, which is the best color names, again, I go back to Jeffree Star. I recently actually just got this from my most recent Jeffree Star mystery box unboxing, which I have not announced that winner for that one yet. I'm still going through all the entries. I plan on picking a winner sometime this week. I apologize, I keep burping. I plan to, again, announce that winner sometime this week when I get a moment to actually go through all the entries, make sure everyone's thoughts, entries count. If you guys know of any other way for me, instead of me just doing this manually, someone let me know in the comments down below so I can make this a lot more easier on myself. But again, when it comes to jumping back to the palette thing, color names, I think he knocked it out of the park for this one. So this is part of the Blood Money collection. The names in this are just so good. So the first one is Divine Intervention. Then you've got Mint Condition, Chameleon Fetish, Poison Ivy, Crocodile Tears, Money Heist, Self-Made, Tax Free, Secret Stash, Black Card Limit, Persuasion, Emerald State, Heavyweight, Equity, Private Island. I think these are all just great names when it comes to this palette. And this palette just A+ on the packaging as well. If I could add this to, you know, best packaging, I'd add this one to that one too. So this is just really great. Again, it has that like clasp where all I have to do is just hit, push it over and then pop it open. And then that's what it looks like. But just to the detail. The detail on this palette is just ridiculous. Oh no, I haven't even used this palette yet and I've got a dog here and here. I swear, my dog gets his hair anywhere and everywhere and it's ridiculous. I just want to make sure I keep this, you know, pristine and in good condition until I feel like using it. So there is that. So color names, that's where we're at. Now, least used palette. I feel like when I bought this, I used it a lot, and now it's just kind of sat back on the back burner. There's a lot of palettes, actually, I could tell you that I've bought and then just sit back on the back burner that I haven't used in a really long time. So when you say least used, there's a lot that goes into this category. But as I was really looking into my drawers behind me and just kind of looking at the palettes that I've actually used, that I know that I've put time and money and love into, but then I just like don't gravitate towards anymore, I would definitely say it is this one. It is the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. I loved this palette in the beginning, but I also had a palette that was kind of like a knockoff version of it by Crown Beauty or Crown Pro, same people that make the Crown brushes. And I used that one more than I used this one. I even did a comparison video of the two like a long time ago. But you can't really tell that I've used it, but I have. I just don't use it enough. But I definitely want to make sure I use this during coming fall. Fall is coming. Fall is coming. And I'm excited for it. I'm ready for all the oranges, the browns, the neutrals, the burgundies. So excited for it. I'm almost tempted to also this fall go back to being brunette. Like really tempted. But still having like either a hint of blonde in there or maybe like some nice caramel copper tones in there. I don't know what I'm doing. But there's a thought there of possibly going back to being brunette because this blonde is so much of an upkeep. So much of an upkeep, and I'm kind of getting tired of it. I've been blonde for like 2 years now, so it is what it is. But I'm excited to use this palette again because this palette screams fall to me. So there is that. Now, the second to last category is going to be most used and most loved. That's what the slash was when I looked in the description of my last video. So when I would say most used is going to be this palette right here, which is the e.l.f. Matte for Matte Eyeshadow Palette. You guys know I've talked about this way too much. I use this for pretty much anything and everything as neutral transitions. If I just want like a little bit of an all matte smoky type of eye to get me through the day, or if I want to use the dark brown shades or the blackish brown shade as for like eyebrow powder, because that's what I also do as well. This palette, this is my second one, but obviously you guys can tell I use this neutral shade right here so much. I always hit pan on this one first because I always use it as like my normal transition color every single day, no matter if I'm using other palettes and they have those colors in there. That one's just literally always here in my main vanity, so that's what it is, or that's where it always is, so that's why I always use it. As for most loved, this is my first high-end palette I have ever bought to be a part of my collection. This bad boy right here, girl, whoever she is amazing. And obviously you can't even see Urban Decay on it anymore, but this is the original Urban Decay palette. I hit pan a few different shades in here, but this is never going anywhere. This is the beginning, and this will always be at the end as well. I will never get rid of this palette, so I love it way so much, way too much to get rid of it. All right, and then we have one last category that I added in since we are in a little bit of a different age when it comes to the beauty community, and that last category is favorite influencer palette. So my favorite influencer palette that I am in love with, that I use actually almost every single day in some type of way, is the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe Palette 1 collaboration. I love this palette. I love the shades that are in here. The eyeshadows that are on my eyes right now at the moment are from this palette, and it just has so much to offer. Jaclyn Hill literally paved the way for influencers back in the day when it came to her first collaboration, when it came to her and Becca Cosmetics, and she came out with Champagne Pop. And then realistically, brands kind of realized how if they worked with influencers or worked with people in the beauty community, they were able to, I don't know, make more money at the same time too, but also make great products realistically in the end. And this palette is the original formula. I have yet to pick up what the new formula is supposed to be for Jaclyn Hill when she did her collaboration with Morphe. But these are amazing. I love them so much. So the shades that are on my eyes right now at the moment is going to be this one right here. And then this is in the center. This shade is in my inner corner. And then that is my transition shade. So if I could tell you what they were called, Pool Party is the blue one. The greenish one is called Diva. The inner corner is called Beam, and then I think the shade, let's see where it's at, 1 2 3 4 and down, 1 2 3 4 and down, and then the brownish shade, which is right here, is called Pukey, which is, or Pookie or Pukey, I don't know, don't quote me, P-U-K-E-Y, so Pookie I'm gonna guess, because right next to it is called Pooter. Oh no! I dipped my finger into that. But yes, these shades are amazing. Especially I like to use these like red shades and orange shades a lot too coming this fall. So those will be really amazing. I also like using some of these. You can tell what shades I've used in here. You can see how if they've dug into, if they've got swatches on them or whatever it is. But this is my favorite influencer palette and I will forever love this and will not get rid of this whatsoever. So that is my full on review on this palette tag. Again, if you guys love this video, please give this video a thumbs up. You know, it'll help me out so much. And obviously, if you guys want to join into this palette tag and you have your own YouTube channel, then don't forget to go ahead and use the questions or the category questions down below. And don't forget to go ahead and tag me. I want to watch your videos. If you guys are recreating this, let me know. There are some other tags I think that are going on right now, like the my top 3. I don't think it's like a tag, but it's just like my top 3 in every single category, whether it's like primers, blushes, bronzers, highlighters, yada yada. I've seen a few different influencers go ahead and do this tag, so I'm interested in doing it myself. So again, let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about this palette tag. If you're liking some of my ideas or some things I talked about in this video, then again, I want to know your thoughts. I want us to have a conversation in the comments down below. So again, I love you guys so much. You know the gist. If you like videos like this, don't forget this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell down below so you never miss a video with me, your girl Sandra Dee, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.